Welcome to Botcast, where we explore the cutting edge technologies that are transforming businesses. Today, we are diving deep into Amazon Bedrock, a game changing generative AI service by AWS. Please join me in welcoming JP, the co founder at SmartBots. JP, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Mansa. It's really great to be here. I'm really excited to talk about one of my favorite topic in Gen AI space, which is Amazon Bedrock. Let's get started.
Rightly said. So, to kick things off, let's start by understanding what Amazon Bedrock is all about.
Yes, I think that's the good way to start. First of all, let us understand what Amazon Bedrock is, and then we can take it up further from there. So, Amazon Bedrock is a service, new service. I think it was released about 2 months back and is available for everyone. And this is a Gen AI service which is by AWS. And what AWS has done is the key ingredients of this service is the foundation model. So the foundation models are all these large language models built by few leading AI companies. AWS has beautifully brought all of the services under one umbrella and gave it a name called Bedrock. Essentially, what Bedrock is. On top of that, there are some capabilities like you can fine tune this foundation models as per your enterprise use case and few other capabilities, which maybe we can talk in the course of this podcast. But yeah, so at a high level, this is what I would define Bedrock to be. It's a collection of a lot of foundation models.
Thank you for shedding light on what Amazon Bedrock is all about, JP. Now, as we dive deeper into this intriguing landscape, let's explore what sets Amazon Bedrock apart from other generative AI services available today. In this competitive world of AI innovation, could you share the distinguishing features that make Bedrock truly remarkable?
Sure. So Amazon Bedrock is unique in multiple ways. The main differentiation is the way they you can consume Amazon Bedrock. It is serverless, which means that you don't have to incur a lot of capex to take this step into your Gen AI initiatives. In the beginning of the year, when Gen AI was introduced to all of us at a large scale, primarily, the main concern which enterprises had was like they have to spend millions of dollars to get or implement any of the Gen AI services. And not just for building the large language models, even for maintaining it, meaning you'll have to deploy it into a server. That would cost you a lot of dollars. And now Bedrock has solved all of these problems. It is zero capex. So you can, if you have a use case in mind, then directly you can embed with simple code into your application and start consuming Amazon Bedrock. And there, you pay as you go, just like any other AWS cloud services. You pay as you go. That is a breeze for me. And yeah, apart from that, you can also fine tune these models. So if you have your enterprise data, you can tailor it to your enterprise needs. And few other aspects like it is secure, it seamlessly integrates with the other AWS services. All this sets Bedrock apart from most of the other Gen AI services that are available out there. If you're an AWS shop and you have an application built on AWS and you want to add Gen AI, then Bedrock is the answer for that.
Fascinating how Amazon Bedrock stands out. Now, let's dive into its practical applications. Moving our focus to understanding the foundation, you have already shared what makes Amazon Bedrock unique. Now, when we think about this game changing technology, could you provide us with more details about its foundation models and how businesses can leverage them to solve specific challenges?
Sure. Let us talk about the foundation models first. So these foundation models, as I said, are all created by these leading AI companies. Few of them are AI 21. Anthropic has come up with their foundation models, which are Claude 1 and Claude 2, which are now available on Amazon Bedrock. I personally like Claude 2 because you can, I feel that it is the state of the art in terms of the generative AI capabilities. And I feel that it is far ahead of most of the Gen AI text-based generation services out there in the market. So these are the foundation models, and there are different varieties of foundation models as well. The other varieties of foundation models include Amazon Titan. This is AWS native large language model. This can be used for text generation or embedding. Stable diffusion can be used for image generation. So what essentially AWS has done, and I feel they have done it really well, is brought a variety of foundation models and tied them together. And now as an enterprise, if you have different types of use cases, be it image generation, embeddings generation, text generation, summarization. Any of these use cases can be easily developed using Amazon Bedrock. So this is at a high level what foundation models are all about. And talking about the second question which you have asked, how are businesses leveraging this Amazon Bedrock as a technology? The fact is, I'm quoting this from AWS website. There are two use cases that they have published. One is by Booking.com. Booking.com is already leveraging Amazon Bedrock. And the way they are using this Bedrock is for getting recommendations, travel recommendations, booking recommendations, hotel recommendations for their end customers. And there's another use case that I can think of, which is by Genesis. So Genesis is using Bedrock for support automation. And the third, which is our own smartbots, is also using Bedrock. We have integrated with Amazon Bedrock and using it for customer support automation. So these are the use cases which technology providers are using. I've also seen few enterprises using Bedrock for embedding Gen AI into their application, be it for conversation summarization or for generating marketing content. There are creative ways which people are using to are thinking of to make use of Amazon Bedrock. And I think it's a playground now for enterprises to think of multiple creative ways of using Amazon Bedrock in solving various business problems.
It's inspiring to see renowned companies benefiting from Bedrock. Now, let's focus on data security. Now, as businesses consider adopting Amazon Bedrock, we understand that data security and compliance are of paramount. How does Bedrock address these concerns and ensure businesses meet the security standards?
That's a really important question which enterprises are should ask themselves before investing anything in Bedrock. I'll take few steps back. At the beginning of the year, there was some news around data security concerns with respect to this large language models. Enterprises are concerned that the large language models are consuming all their data to enhance their models, right? And so therefore they were not comfortable trying out few of these Gen AI initiatives. But Amazon Bedrock has realized, but AWS has realized that this is a major concern that has to be addressed, and they solved it really well with Bedrock. So with all the calls that you make to Bedrock, the data will not be used for the model fine tuning or customizing the underlying model. That's a major value add in terms of data security. Apart from that, Bedrock comes with all the standard compliances, just like any other AWS services. Data in transit, rest being encrypted, all that is taken care. So even if it is a sensitive application, maybe in healthcare or any other domains, finance or any other domains, you can confidently take Bedrock and start your use case, implement your use case using Amazon Bedrock. So it's secure and compliant that way.
It's quite reassuring to know that Bedrock emphasizes security and compliance. Now, for businesses who are eager to start and embrace Amazon Bedrock, practical guidance is quite essential. How can businesses initiate their journey with Bedrock, and what resources are available to assist them in the adoption process?
Yes, so Amazon has always been really partner centered or developer centered. So they have provided, along with the general availability of Bedrock, they have released a lot of training material, tutorials, step by step guides on guidelines on how to embed Bedrock into your application. There is a lot of material out there in YouTube and various other forums. And the another source for developers is the Amazon documentation itself. It is really rich and comprehensive to get started. So I would recommend going through all this material and then maybe start with a small use case. If you have a use case which is relatively high value and a low hanging one, just start with that use case, do a pilot for about a couple of months, and then see the business value, assess it, and then take a plunge and then take it to the production level. And this might typically take about 3 to 4 months. I think that's how you should get started with Amazon Bedrock.
It's amazing that AWS commitment to resources makes it accessible for businesses. Now, let's look into the future. In hindsight, what can we anticipate regarding advanced features and foundation models from Amazon Bedrock? And how will these innovations further impact business operations?
Sure. So Bedrock, as I said, it was released about a couple of months back. I'm sure there is a lot more getting cooked inside AWS. taking into account the enterprise need, right? So the thing which I'm looking forward for is the Bedrock agents. So Bedrock agents as a concept is very simple. You can interactively talk to your enterprise system. So be it a ticketing system, you want to check the status of a ticket, you can talk to the system, and this is all powered by Bedrock and get the status of the ticket. So it's basically converting an API to a language. You can talk to your system through an API using a language interface. Now that is one. The other thing is the retrieval augmented generation feature, where you can handle or you can interact with your unstructured data, be it your documents or your policy compliance documents. Enterprises have a bunch of them. You can upload and then start interacting with the system with this unstructured data using Bedrock. These are the cool features that AWS is coming up with. I'm looking forward for them. Apart from that, I'm sure they are also looking at giving more options in terms of adding more foundation models into the stack so that enterprises can have a choice of like picking which one is the right foundation model for their use case. So I think there is a clear roadmap for the next 1 year where a lot of things we'll get to see on Amazon Bedrock.
Fascinating. Also, it's exciting to think about evolving possibilities of Amazon Bedrock. Now, let's bring it closer to home. Before we come to today's episode, it would be great to hear how SmartBots is leveraging Amazon Bedrock to assist its customers. Could you share some specific use cases and the impact it's had on your customer support operations?
Yes, SmartBots has been always innovative in the ways we can automate customer support, and Bedrock is something really adding to that. So when Bedrock was made generally available, immediately we jumped onto it and integrated with our SmartBot Studio. Now, for an enterprise who is looking at automating customer support, and if they are looking at Bedrock, then I would recommend SmartBot Studio because it is quite easy for enterprises to consume Bedrock using SmartBot Studio and automate it really fast. And also the best practices in terms of support automation techniques are all embedded into SmartBot Studio. So it is quick and efficient way to implement an automation, customer support automation using Bedrock on SmartBot Studio. Having said that, we have implemented few use cases for say customer automation, for ticket creation, for insurance, and in travel we have built all this industry specific use cases on top of Bedrock. So and this has already shown customer satisfaction, improvement in customer satisfaction, because we are using under the hood, we are using Bedrock. So the customer satisfaction has improved, and then the time, the call containments have improved. Therefore the agents are spending less time interacting with the customers. Most of them is already handled by the bots built on SmartBot Studio. So a lot of benefits we are seeing by integrating with Amazon Bedrock, and I would highly recommend enterprises to try out SmartBot Studio, which is integrated with Amazon Bedrock.
That's a wrap for today's episode. A huge thank you to our guest JP for providing valuable insights into Amazon Bedrock and its transformative potential. Thank you, JP.
As always, it's my pleasure, Mansa. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for joining us on Podcast, where we explore innovative technologies that shape the future of business. Stay tuned for more exciting discussions and insights in our upcoming episodes. Thank you all for viewing.